Hi everyone, in this video we are going to see about logistics and supply chain management. In operation management, in production and operation management, one of the most important topic is logistics and supply chain management. So why this logistics and supply chain management is revolutionary at this particular moment or more important in production and operation, we are going to discuss. So if you take nowadays central government is focusing more towards import and export of goods and services. So if you take past 2 years, like Adani like companies or their share price or keep on increasing due to their import and export of goods and services. So even if you take let me give you a more simple example like Uber and Ola. It's a kind of a travel service. It's a kind of supply chain. Even if you take Zomato, Swiggy, that is also it's a kind of supply chain. So in this digital era, everyone is expecting their product or service in their doorstep itself. So that leads to more important importance to give. We want to give it to this logistics and supply chain management. Even nowadays logistics and supply chain it's having a separate courses or evolved nowadays. So even like a warehousing and so on, lot and lot of things we can learn from this logistics and supply chain management. So what is logistics, what is supply chain, what is warehousing and so on. So let's see. Logistics is nothing but it's a kind of transportation. How goods and service, how goods are tangible goods are the movement of finished goods. We will call it as an logistics. So the movement of goods and services we will call it as a logistics. Logistics is nothing but transportation of goods and services. We will call it as a logistics. Supply chain is from the raw material to the end user or end customer or consumer. The what are the product goods and service movement or raw material movement, we will call it as an supply chain management. From the raw material till the end user or customer, how the particular goods or service or raw material is reaching that particular end customer, we will call it as a supply chain management. Logistic, it's nothing but transportation. In a word, if I want to tell logistic, it's nothing but it's a transportation of goods and service or transportation of raw material. We can call it likewise, right? So supply chain management, from the raw material till the end user or customer, the product will have a kind of transmission, right? So that kind of movement of raw material or a kind of finished good from the scrap to the finished product, we will call it as a supply chain management, right? So this is the evolution of logistics and supply chain management. In early 1960s, we will call it as an we won't call it as an logistics and supply chain management. We will call it as an fragmentation. So fragmentation is like what is the demand of that particular product, the demand forecasting, as well as sourcing and purchasing of that particular product, raw material, requirement planning, production planning, how I am going to produce that particular product, and manufacturing inventories, warehousing, how I will hold that particular material, of whether raw material or it's a kind of finished good. How I am going to have it, warehousing and material handling and packaging and so on. After that, goods inventories and how it's kind of transportation, how it's reached the end customer and so on. Retailing, where it involves wholesaler, retailers and so on. Fine. So these are the process which is involved in logistics and supply chain in early 1960s. After in 1980s, the kind of transmission, what we call it as a consolidation. What we have done is demand forecasting, sourcing, packaging, and purchasing of raw material, requirement planning, production planning, everything comes under material management. Even we are having material management as an a course, as well as next is the warehousing, material handling and so on, warehousing management. Next is how the distribution thing is consolidated into single one. In early 1990s only, it is integrated as a logistics. So from raw material till the end user called as an logistics. But after later in 2000, we call it as an value capture. That is supply chain management. Logistics is converted into a transportation. Supply chain is from the raw material till the end customer or consumer reaches. We will call it as a supply chain management. The total information about their finance, strategical planning, marketing, and IT, everything it comes under those things. In 2010, it's completely make an automation. So everything like order tracking and all things comes under, and IT, like new technologies evolved, and nowadays logistics plays vital role. Logistics and supply chain plays a vital role in our country. So in this aspect, if you take product tracking and so on, everything comes under this logistics and supply chain management. If you take logistics management, it's nothing but it's a kind of goods and movement of goods and service. We will call it as a logistics management, or a kind of transportation. We will call it as a logistics management. So if you take the supply chain management, logistics, it's a part of supply chain management. If you take supply chain management, there is more elements like logistics, purchasing of product, market and sales, finance, research and development, and production, and so on. If you take in supply chain management, first one is procurement or purchase. How we are going to purchase the raw material, and what is the production process we are going to do, how much financing, and how we are going to market or sell our products and all about it. After that, a kind of logistics, how I am going to use my transporting my goods, and how it's going to reach my end customer or consumer. So R&D is also its more important factor in supply chain and supply chain management. Supply chain management is always nowadays they transferred into contract basis, so that for everyone the thing is the consumption or cost is more or less. In supply chain management, everything goes under contract. So contract means always the cost will be less, and speedy service, as well as more effective and efficient. So efficiently we are getting things done, right? So supply chain, the same thing: planning, marketing, procurement, logistics, and succession operation and analysis. The same slide, it's over here, right? So next is supply chain management is the thing is from the raw material till the end user or customer, from the raw material till end customer or consumer, how that particular raw material converted into a finished good. That's it's all about supply chain management. So the flow of goods and service, which includes the process and transformation of raw material into finished good, we will call it as a supply chain management. Supply chain management is the management, a flow of goods and service, including all process and transformation of raw material into finished product. We will call it as a supply chain management. It's active streamline and maximizing the customer value and so on. So that we will call it as an from the scrap till the end customer, how that particular movement of goods, we speak about supply chain management. So here is the difference between logistics and supply chain management. Logistics, it's a kind of transportation. Supply chain, it's a kind of transforming raw material into finished good. The main objective of this both logistics management is customer satisfaction. If you take supply chain management, the competitive advantage, what is the 1 point or 2 point I am more competitive enough to do that. So evolution of the logistics is evolved, as well as supply chain management also. It's a modern concept which is integrating all technological facts and so on. So logistics, it's a single one. It's a kind of transportation. Like if you take a real-time example, VRL logistics and so on, there is a number of logistics services. So KNR, KPR, and so on. So if you take a supply chain, the more organization now they are involved, like Swiggy, Zomato, and so on. So there is a number of supply chain management also it's there. So this is all about difference between logistics and supply chain management. So the supply chain management is consists of all parts like logistics, distribution, especially in distribution, warehousing, inventory control, outbounds, packaging, and communication. These are comes under distribution. In logistics, the how inbound transportation, inventory management, outsourcing, and field dates. Supply chain, it's integrating both everything, like how I'm going to purchase my raw material and how I'm going to get it out, and a kind of resource planning or raw material planning. Next one is how I am going to produce that particular product, warehousing, and what kind of distribution, how I am going to distribute my goods and service, and so on. This is all about logistics and supply chain management. Thank you all.